Listen closely. The views discussed in this podcast are solely those of the hosts. Audience discretion is advised.
And we're back for another episode of the Winning Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody.
I do think we're probably at a point where I don't really have to announce that every time. Because I think, people realize by now this drop weekly. Now you can watch it with video and audio anywhere else. But I'm Luijy.
And I'm Caleb.
And as always, it's a new week. It's beautiful outside. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This is probably the third time we've tried to film this. I guess record it just in general. But last time it was pretty dark, but today's a pretty great day. It's sunny outside. The birds are chirping. And we got stuff to talk about. It's actually really exciting because we put out one episode out, every Tuesday. But this week you get a new one on Tuesday and a new one on Thursday because we have an event coming up this weekend that we felt like it was worthy to come on here and make another episode. I don't really know how long it's going to go for, but again, enough rambling on that.
We're at the mercy of our technology, as always,
Yeah.
But we're learning. We're getting better.
But with that, join us this weekend if you're going to be in Seattle. This should be coming out Thursday, the 10th of February.
Yeah.
Join us this weekend if you're going to be in Seattle. We're going to be on 3rd Avenue at a art show that our friends are putting on and that the Winning Podcast has the opportunity to go and co-host, where we will be sitting down with people, interviewing them, talking about art. There'll be drinks and refreshments. There'll be plenty of opportunities to mingle and just kind of come out and see what the scene is like here in Seattle. If you're not in Seattle, just stay tuned because we'll probably do a follow-up episode just breaking down everything that happened. All right, we have a guest this episode.
Oh, no, sorry, Nim. Welcome in. Honestly, you can join us. Just sit here.
Yeah, it's fine, but you gotta relax. So this is my first time hosting a show, an art show, which I'm not, I love art, but I'm not gonna sit here and try to say I'm like the biggest artist that I can contribute visually to the art that's gonna be there. But the organizer did reach out to me and was pretty much like, hey, you do have some things that you can contribute. So we decided to sign up the podcast to do it. We'll be interviewing artists and and the homies are going to be displaying art there. We're able to secure 3 spots pretty much.
So there's a space for the podcast to do some things. There's going to be a space for some of my art. You all are probably familiar with this piece that's hanging up behind us by now. You may not have seen all of it. Or the 3 pieces that were in the first video.
House looking like an art show is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, all of those things from Ingenious Victors will be on display as well. Just very, very excited for the opportunity. I'm gonna be slinging drinks too. Come by, tip your bartender. You already know. And also tip your artists because that's the actual purpose of this event.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be it's like a...
Well, no, that's not the actual purpose of the event.
Well, I mean, the purpose of the event is not just to tip your artists. The purpose of the event is to raise awareness.
Yeah. We're trying to raise money for some nonprofits around Seattle.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I signed up. To me, that was kind of a no-brainer, just having, and it's not really for the clout. I don't want to see it that way. But having that exposure that, if you ever need a voice, you know what I mean? Reach out to the TWP and we got you and we'll pull up and do our thing.
Yeah.
And make an event out of it because ultimately this is our chance to make the event ours because we're going to bring the voice. We're going to give people the energy. We're going to make people feel good about themselves and what they've created. So I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? We're doing events now and it's not a venue we had to pay for. We're not paying anybody to be there. It's legit an opportunity that I think it's going to be pretty great.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it myself. This will be the first time that I've actually gotten to display my art in a public setting.
Yeah, see, that's dope.
So, outside of school, because that's not really like that's not fun, you know. You bring your art to a critique in school, and they're like, "Time to rip your part," like you know, like we're we're just,
or you get a
gonna,
letter grade. You get okay, this is pretty great. You get here's
and you're like, "Cool," but like, did you like it?
Yeah.
Would you buy it?
Honestly, art can be sold at this event. It's a multi-day event, but we're only going to be there on Friday. There are going to be vendors, photo booths, clothes being sold. It's just a good time. And it's 3rd Avenue, you know. It's just, you're going to be in the heart of downtown Seattle, so you can really go and do whatever you want after that. So, yeah, you know. And the other part, too, because it's in Seattle and the way we've created this event, it's all local artists, right? And honestly, it's also Black History Month. If you don't come and show support, there are a couple words I might think.
They start with R.
Yeah.
And rhyme with acist.
Yeah, man. So come out and support. Come hang out. Come do whatever. Just be out there. Come enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I've been in shambles since this event's been created because I have a lot of anxiety posting stuff like this online because you never want to be, you know, like that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you never want to be that person that's like, hey, guys, like, in a way, I'm important enough to throw an art show. Or I'm about to, like, do this event. You guys should come out and support and spend money and come spend your Friday night hanging out with me and what my friends put together.
Yeah.
So I had to get over that. You know, I posted a lot of stuff that I was like, I kind of want to take this down. I kind of want to do this. But ultimately, like the homie was saying off, you know, the record, I'm putting on an event in the middle of downtown Seattle, bro. That's lit. You know, we're all doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you know, I'm trying to hype myself up and feel good about it because I don't want it to come up from a place of like, look at what I'm doing. But at the same time,
look at what I'm doing.
Look at what I'm doing. That's pretty great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that said, welcome to a new episode of the Wing Podcast in the middle of the week, in the middle of the ocean, at the riverside.
Hey, that was a poem. Keep going.
But yeah, bro, what are you most excited about?
Most excited about being out of the house, doing, I don't know. I was a bartender for a long time. I've been a bud tender for almost a year now. It's kind of wild. And I feel like I hate customer service.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm excited to do it in a situation in which I'm excited for, you know, like,
and you're in charge.
Yeah, exactly. Like, anybody can bartend, sure. Anybody can show their art anywhere, sure. But having a specific space for that's built for me or built for us to do something like that is like super cool, super important.
I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. I don't think anyone can bartend, if I'm being completely honest.
Fair.
Everyone can make drinks, sure.
In the way that I will be doing it tomorrow and then on Friday. Yeah, like most people can probably do this. Maybe not like well enough to not like, you know, overserve. But yeah.
No, because see, when I come up to get a drink, I need some personality, and not everyone has personality. So even then, even if you're just pouring pre-made drinks or just handing out cups, it's like, how did you hand me the cup?
I'm gonna be giving Wednesday from Addams Family.
That's
mad monotone, all black.
Until they ask you questions about the art, bro. I might even go shopping for this event. Honestly.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because yeah, like you're saying,
I'm supposed to get my hair done.
You have a whole. I'm getting a haircut, but we don't have time to get the hair done. But I think my hair looks pretty good. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you still have the twist.
I was, you know, you're talking about how you have the bar and you have other stuff like that. I have an entire room to myself. You know what I mean? And I don't really know how I pulled that off, but I'm pretty happy that I did, for one. And two, it's really going to give me the chance to flex my interview skills as a podcaster. Like, I'm going to have to really kind of look into what these people are doing, because you won't be able to join me because you have other duties. You know what I mean? Yeah. And my other friends from our group that does stuff like this, we're all going to be there doing something different. And I'm going to be in the back room interviewing. You know, I'm going to be in the trenches, honestly. I'm going to have to fend for myself. So we're going to see how that works out.
It's gonna be totally fine.
Yeah,
You ain't gotta be
yeah.
scared.
No, I'm not scared. I'm just saying, like, talking about it now, I'm realizing, bro, I'm about to be in the trenches. Like, I'm about to
This is
be
true.
sitting down with people that I've never really even spoken to before, and we got to act buddy on camera, which is not a bad thing, but it does take a certain flair to it. Anyway,
Yeah,
anyway,
no, I feel you.
come check us out. It's on 3rd Avenue. It's gonna be at the Riverside Art.
I think
Showcase,
it's just
whatever
called River.
Okay,
It's like River Seattle.
River Seattle,
Yeah,
Riverside.
all we know is that it's on 3rd Avenue in Seattle. It's
Yeah.
like 1530 or something like that.
If you do want to know more, though, I have went on Twitter and Instagram about it, so you can find more information there. There are flyers, and some of the artists are tagged in the post and everything.
And if you're listening to this, it's probably in the description of the video. So
Yeah, come enjoy, come kick it. You never know who you might meet.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Might even meet your heroes. No.
Hey, I'll sign something.
All right. So we talked about the art show.
Also,
let's-
sorry not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Happy Black History Month, y'all.
Yeah, happy Black History Month.
We,
that deserves a round of applause.
it does.
If it wouldn't ruin the microphones, we'd clap closer.
True.
But yeah,
We would have said this sooner, but this is probably our first recording in February.
yeah, that
So-
has actually worked.
Yeah, so well, I mean, true, yeah. Usually, as we post our episodes and stuff, we might get in a mindset of work where we're just recording. Like we're recording
Yeah,
a lot, and unfortunately, all of February was recorded in January.
yeah.
Partly because we took a little break, and also because again we recorded so many episodes, and at some point we're recording twice a week, and we still got to put those out because it wouldn't be fair to us to record and then not use that content. So we're just pushing it out. Obviously, again, we put out one Tuesday. We're about to put out another one. We're recording on Wednesday now. So happy Black History Month. We're not skipping it. We're not dodging it. That's one thing that we love. We love being black. I love being black. I love the black experience. I wish more people got to, have a good black experience and all sorts of other stuff. Yeah. All that to say, we record a lot. Happy Black History Month.
happy Black History Month.
Stay
bro.
black.
Absolutely.
And I don't stay black. I'm not going to say anything else besides that. Let's get to it.
All right. Now that we've said a bunch of positive things and introduced Black History Month, we're going to take a quick moment and have a moment of silence for Tyre Nichols. We're going to let that ride for a few seconds, and then we'll talk about it. All right. So, we don't want to spend too much time on violence or any of that stuff because if we did that, we'd talk about it every week and it would take up a lot of the sections.
We also don't condone any violence.
No, we also do not condone violence.
Yeah.
We just don't really. We don't want to glorify it so much by talking about it every single time that it happens because it happens every day. We used to say that in college a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But on the real note, we need to stop the whole vigilante justice of police. Like, if I'm not allowed to go solve crimes in a animal suit made out of Kevlar, then the police should not be able to do it either.
Yeah.
So stop doing the things that you're doing. It's utterly ridiculous. And I don't even need to. I know that no cops listen to this podcast, but I'm not talking to them. I'm just saying.
Even if they did,
we need more.
Well, give a little bit more background about what you're talking about.
So Tyre Nichols was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the traffic stop. It's always a traffic stop. And throughout the situation, they pulled him out of his vehicle. They beat him so badly that he had to be rushed to the hospital, where he ultimately passed away. Oh my gosh, that was tight. Not okay. I'm tired of seeing these things, and we need to also acknowledge the fact that this got way less media attention, I feel like, than a lot of other police brutality cases because all of the police officers involved, or at least the ones that the media got their hands on, were all black. So to them, it was just another black on black crime.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like no one's really talking about it as much. Sure, the week that it happened, a lot of people were saying things. The police officers that did it were charged. A couple of them
got fired.
Yeah, like they got fired. A couple of them are gonna pay fines. May face prison time. It's a lot, and that's how it should be every time, though. Like it shouldn't be. It's a twofold thing for me. Sure, it should be a bigger deal, but it also shouldn't. It shouldn't be a big deal that cops lost their jobs for doing something above and beyond what they're supposed to be doing. Especially when it results in loss of life. Like, no amount of insurance payout or reparations forced to pay by the assaultee, like the assaulter, will actually bring the person back.
Yeah.
And there's no level to measure the infinite possibilities of life, and to just absolve somebody of that like opportunity is just a ridiculous thing.
That's something I mean, I'm right there with you. It goes without saying. We always say in this podcast too, it's like everyone should get the opportunity to do and pursue whatever it is in life that they want, as long as it's not at the expense of somebody else. Right? Like,
that's literally the golden rule.
Yeah. You do whatever you want, yeah, sure, but not, like, there's no reason why anyone should ever leave their house. And really, even if they are causing trouble, like, there's no reason why anything should ever end with someone's life being taken from them. Because at that point, like you said, like, when you're alive, you get options. Bro, you could have gone to jail. You could have, gone home. You could have gotten a new job. You could have done, obviously this thing all sounds stupid, but you really could have done anything. But when you're dead and just laying there, and especially when it wasn't your time, because we're not gonna try to be religious in anything. Like, it just no one it's no one's time to die out this way.
Never.
Like, it's not. Like, you can't ever fool me that there's a bigger plan. Like, this was never meant to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I really feel. He should have been able to leave his house that day and get home.
Yeah.
Like, no,
with no
period,
issues.
no nothing. There's no, and that's one thing I will say too that I don't understand about our justice system. There's nothing that needs to be investigated here.
Yeah, no, not at
like,
all.
Honestly, by the end of that night, these men should have been in jail. They should have gotten everything stripped from them. And I guess, some people might not like an eye for an eye, but honestly, their lives should be ruined to a lot higher of a degree than it is right now, if I'm being completely honest. Because what they did is pretty freaking nasty. It's just gross, right? And let alone the fact that they are also black. Like, come on.
That's what we said the other day when we tried to record this last. Luijy, you made a really good point. You're like, how do you see another person that looks like you and goes, I'm going to subject you to torture?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why? Here's the thing. What made any of the rest of you join in?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no one stopped this?
Yeah, like, at no point nobody was like, hey, bro, get off of him. Or like, you start fighting your homies. Like, even on football teams, when somebody's being ridiculous, like, they'll shove their own homie and be like, hey, bro, calm down.
And there's no angle to spin this for it to look any better. You're telling me all the racist black cops are just out patrolling together?
Yeah, bro. All at the same time.
Or that there's not a strong enough black presence in that police department that one of those black cops would have stopped the other ones?
No.
How do you spin this? There's no investigation to be had. There's no reasoning to be had. Even if he was number one criminal that they were looking for that night, I don't think you're supposed to just do this on site.
No.
Let alone, there was a white cop involved. No one's talking about it. I don't know what he looks like. His lawyer
just has to be good.
Like, who's your lawyer?
My man got Johnny
I'm
Cochran.
not up to anything, but I could take a card.
My man got Johnny Cochran in there.
Man, because your lawyer's working overtime. Obviously, again, it's black and black crime, and that's the bigger news. But I think that's also part of why no one cares.
Yeah.
Right? We're in Seattle and stores were closing early. People were trying to get home early. They were trying to shut everything down because of talks of rioting and everything. But every black person in Seattle knew the 5% of the Washington population that's black. Anyway, every black person in Seattle knew that there wasn't going to be any rioting. Like, it's no call of justice for any white person to go out of their way because they don't care. Like, if anything, they all believe this is what we do all day and night anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go riot for this. Isn't this what they rap about? Well, while it's terrible and it's really nasty, not a single black person in Seattle thought anything was gonna happen. And by the end of the night and up to now, nothing has happened.
White people saw that and said, "Wow, his ops did get him."
Yeah, dude.
They said, "No, bro, the ops got him."
And
It's
put
different.
a C in front of that.
Yeah.
It is still police brutality. Like,
Yes, bro.
I don't know why this. It's already also old news.
Yeah.
And you know what's
And it
crazy?
literally happened 2 weeks ago.
You know what's crazy? Because you know what's still news? That white cop who slept with the entire precinct.
Yeah.
And then got fired for it.
Yep, that is still news.
That made even bigger news.
The one that
than
looked like-
the 5 cops who killed the black guy.
The one that looked like Morty from Rick and Morty.
Bro, front page? How did you know what? We're going to sound...
Exactly. We
Yeah.
don't even want to keep talking
Yeah,
about it because
but anyway.
that's not even important.
No, it's not. Police brutality is still a thing in 2023. I know all the companies talked about their policies 3 years ago and they all dropped it. But honestly, besides the court of public opinion and the immediate areas affected by this, these cops got off easy.
Yeah, extremely easily.
You
It's
know,
kind of whack.
and it continues the trend, right? Like, obviously in the black community, these men will never save face. They're just done. But outside of that, and outside of, again, those areas, I really do feel like these 4 or 5, including the white guy, because there was a white man present. I'm pretty sure the white man is the one who tased or pepper sprayed him or whatever. Soft, first of all. Anyway.
He had to be the mid-distance fighter.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
I got range.
Anyway, I do think these men could really jump probably to another county and get work as police officers.
Or private investigators, security guards.
Yeah, which these men should never be in a position to have any
Any kind of authority or power
or
anything.
lethal or non-lethal weapons on them for any purposes.
Yeah. I would agree with you there.
And I think that's one thing we really can't gloss over because these men really are going to continue on to have careers because no one's talking about it. No one cares. Anyway, it's terrible. Being black is amazing. You know what I mean? Being black is like probably the best thing that ever happened to me because we have so much culture. We make the culture. Excuse me. We do make the culture, no matter how you guys want to, split it up, slice it up. Black people are the culture. We give you guys everything: music, art, fashion.
Give you everything.
And you take everything from us.
Yeah, really.
But it's pretty nasty that those 4 officers did not.
I think it was 5 black
Five
cops and
black
one
guys.
white
Okay.
guy.
However many of them there were, one too many.
Yeah, bro.
None of them realistically, are bathing in black boy joy. They don't really clearly they can't love themselves because again, not to say this could have happened or should be happening to anybody from another race, whatever. But ultimately, no, like you clearly don't see the beauty in your own self because you never do that to your own. Is how
No,
I feel.
absolutely not. And you as a person, at least 1 to 3 of them have to have kids.
Yeah.
And for you to see that, or for you to do that and then know that your kid is going to grow up and then at some point someone who looks like you is going to do what you did to your son just because they look like you. Like, come on, man.
And you would not be okay with that.
Absolutely
No
not.
matter how you spice it up.
No.
Anyways.
But we're going to kind of segue a little bit into our next point, but we're going to take a quick break.
What's up, Seattle? It's Ingenious Victors, local artist, and you're listening to The Winning Podcast.
Hey, we're back after a small break. Not really sure, because we alternate ads and whatever skit we throw in the podcast. So I don't know how long the break was. But anyway, I don't.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
For us, it was just moments. No,
True.
You're all just thinking slower.
That's funny. Oh, we haven't talked about this in a while.
What, Kanye West?
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
Okay, before we bring up anything else, because it's just not in our notes here, did you know he's married?
Yeah, I knew about that. That's odd.
What's that about? Hey, who is that woman?
Who knows,
Who are these
bro?
women?
Who knows anytime that Kanye... like, here's the thing. I think we all need to stop thinking that we know Kanye West.
Yeah.
And that's really, like, what he's been trying to, like, force on everybody, is that nobody knows him.
You don't
like,
know
you
me.
don't know him. Even if you know him, you don't know him. Like, for him to just pop out and be married, apparently be driving himself, wandering the streets, smoking cigarettes, looking like a crackhead. Who knows? Who knows what's going on in this man's life? But as we tried to record the other day, sure, everybody's like, we need to move beyond he needs help. Like, Kanye doesn't need help. He needs sedation. It's like,
Kanye
well,
needs help.
that is help.
Kanye needs help.
Even
yeah.
if you were to sedate him, that would probably help him for at least a couple of hours. Like, he needs some kind of assistance, because clearly everybody's mad that when he has a platform, what he chooses to do with it. All right, they stripped most of his platform. Now what? Are you just gonna let him die? Like, no, man.
Kanye definitely needs help. And especially during Black History Month, we need to be protecting our own. I understand what Kanye has done, and I'm not condoning it. And when I say I understand, I'm not saying like I understand. I'm just saying I get it. Kanye's messed up, and we need to hold him accountable for sure. But he should also get the help he needs, 100%. Like, he shouldn't have to. I don't know what kind of position he's in, but if we're going based on what we're seeing online and this marriage he's in, Kanye needs all the help, and we need to find him and keep him safe, because Kanye is still one of our icons. Kanye still has contributed mountains of just content to the culture, to the history, to everything. At the end of the day, Kanye will be in the rock and roll Hall of Fame. Like, no matter how you guys try to spin his story.
Yeah.
So I think we should, the least we owe Kanye is to help him out.
Yeah, try to, I don't know. We don't need to preserve the human being Kanye West. We need to preserve the legacy that is Kanye West, though.
We should preserve the human being, because if he needs help, he needs help.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But all I'm pointing to is that people don't need to particularly remember Kanye West, the person, so much as they're going to need to remember his impact on music.
True.
Because right now people are trying to be like, his impact on music is nothing now because of him going crazy over the last
and that's just
13
not
months.
true.
And you're like, that's just not the case.
That's just not true, because honestly, I had a work meeting today, and guess what? They were playing Kanye West.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I mean? Talking about everybody wild up listening to Kanye. Yes, bro, because it's Kanye West. It's because he's Kanye West that the things he was saying 13 months ago were so crazy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's start there. But anyway, on the other side of that, Kanye West cannot be found outside wandering the back alley smoking cigarettes. What is going on there?
Yeah.
And honestly,
if
that looked
wasn't-
like too much of a cookie cutter neighborhood, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The video, we're reflecting on several videos that we've seen now of Kanye West. Last week it was Kanye West accused or charged with battery for taking a woman's cell phone and throwing it. And I always hate when they bring these things up, because they always bring up the distance at which the person throws the thing. Like, that increases the level of assault. Like, they're like, he threw her phone several hundred yards, or like several tens of yards.
Like,
and
it
you're
matters.
like, yeah, bro, if I hook something hard enough and it's a cell phone, it's probably going to go 20 yards.
yeah.
Like that. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. But they're like, he threw it so far. Like, that's so outrageous of him. And I'm like, he told her to stop recording him, and she kept recording him. So he snatched her phone and tossed it.
Like
this
anyone would have done.
And this is not the first time Kanye West has done something like this. We know that he does things like this, and that was before the crazy stuff. Like, he was taking paparazzi cameras and throwing them 13 years ago almost now. Like, you can't tell me nothing about that.
And now you find him down bad in his luck, driving himself, because I can't remember the last time Kanye West drove himself. And what I'm assuming was probably not a car he wanted to be driving.
Yeah, man. And who's to say that he even has any of his own stuff right now?
Yeah,
maybe
probably
his wife
still wearing those Balenciaga boots.
Maybe his marriage was to low key save his financial situation.
No,
but I don't know.
Kanye wasn't need Kim Kardashian.
No, not his old marriage.
Oh, you're talking about the new one?
Marriage.
Wait, Kanye West is not doing arranged marriages.
Hey.
I mean, I guess I don't know, but I you know what? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. But let's keep going. What else has Kanye done this week? That
I think that encapsulates the three major things that we had was like the secret marriage, throwing somebody's cell phone, and wandering the streets.
Is
kind
this
of,
us?
Kind of looking crackheaded.
Is this us preluding to Kanye's? I wouldn't say downfall, but I'd say like Kanye's rock bottom.
I think he may have hit rock bottom. And I think that
Look at us sitting here in Seattle talking about Kanye West's rock bottom. For all we know,
Kanye West's rock bottom is probably still 30 levels above mine.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. Like, for all we know, that neighborhood he was in, that person could have been recording from a mansion overlooking another mansion, and that Kanye West just happens to be outside of. We don't even really know if it was a bad situation. And like you said, what if he's married to some heiress or something?
Maybe he was at his new wife's house and she just doesn't like the cigs in the backyard. So he was just out in the alleyway, just trying to get his mind right.
This is all public opinion. This is, again, we're podcasting. We're just talking about it.
Yeah, we're just regular people. Kanye, if you want to talk to us and that would help you get your mind right, I would love to have you.
Honestly, I would go even a step further to say the only way Kanye West could redeem himself is to come onto the Winning Podcast and let the people know what he's really about.
He's just a regular guy.
You know?
Through it.
Tell
them.
I'll put a towel down because, again, I don't really know how long you've been wearing them boots. So you can't really put your feet on anything.
Oh, my god!
But besides
he wasn't wearing the boots. He was wearing slides in the video.
And like a true black man, he had some socks on.
He was airing them out.
Yeah.
Air out the dogs.
Man, with some socks
We'll
on.
let the dogs out.
But anyway, I did partly think this was part of, Kanye's elaborate plan to roll out some music, new clothing line, or do whatever. Not condoning it.
He's been teasing that hobo chic thing for years. Like
yeah.
I wanna see. You remember in Zoolander?
I've never seen Zoolander.
What? Oh man!
Bro, are you really surprised I've never seen Zoolander?
In Zoolander, they did a thing where they were like they had dude dressed up in hobo chic, and it was basically just like tattered clothes with a bunch of layers and all that craziness.
That is Kanye West's line.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey man, honestly, that'd be fire though.
You know what else is funny? Kanye West has done a lot of cameos and shows and movies, like a lot more than I thought Kanye West would ever do. Yeah. Like, he's done a lot. And I do think eventually he will bounce back. He will still have an audience because, I mean, he wasn't even part of cancel culture. But if people from cancel culture can still go out and sell out Madison Square Garden and literally have a career after, what they were all accused of, I think Kanye West will be okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll be all right.
Not to leverage anything, not to say one thing's worse than the other, but ultimately, I think, honestly, when people said Kanye tried to go, to FUBU to sell stuff, I didn't even believe that. Kanye wasn't trying to go to FUBU.
Yeah, no way. I don't know, man. It doesn't even matter to me though, because like, again, even if that was to be the case, then like, we need to be talking about what that means in the overall implications of like Kanye West's life.
Yeah.
Like if a human being starts, for all intents and purposes, displaying the behaviors of a crackhead, like you're selling all of your stuff, people start seeing you out in places that they've never seen you. Like if people are worried about you that don't even know you. Like, it's just like things like that. I'm not saying he's on anything. I'm just saying that obviously something that needs to be
Something's
monitored.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
But talking about artists and all great things. Talking about artists and all main things. I, for one, still consider Kanye an integral part of the culture.
Absolutely.
Without saying. But also, I've also really been enjoying the trend of our older icons who've been around for a while, who now have built empires of their own. You know, talking like JD. We're talking about, you know, the guys that what's like DJ Drama in his record label, Generation Next.
I love DJ Drama. I feel like we didn't like. Obviously, DJ Drama is always involved in like everything
And something.
Yeah. But I feel like there was a time period where not that he fell off, but we just weren't hearing that same good old gangster grills, like him saying random ad libs on all the albums for a while. Like, I feel like I missed that.
He went on a record.
A year or two.
He went on a record. Well, not a record, but he was on the podcast with Rory and Mal, and he said why. He goes, honestly, I just didn't feel like I was that guy. He legit was like, I did not think that my work was good enough to be on that level. Like, he said
No way.
And then he goes, and then when enough people go, bro, are you serious? You're DJ Drama. And then your Gangsta Grills mixtape goes on to win a Grammy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He
dude.
goes, then you really realize, yo, I'm that guy. And sometimes that is what it takes, right? Like, I mean, even, you know, with podcasting and everything, a lot of times you can, you know, you could feel like you're just talking into the void until that one little instance or something happens and you go, what am I talking about? Like, I'm that guy. Like, I'm him. Like, Timothy Turner. Turner. You know what I mean?
Timothy Hims.
Him Jones. Like, I'm him. So I get it. And which is crazy because, again, Generation Next, he has Lil Uzi, he has Jack Harlow, a lot of other, like, big names coming up, you know, and I can't remember his name, but another guy just wanted to podcast who is, you know, a partner with DJ Drama. He goes, all we get all day is send me a Lil Uzi type beat, send me a Churchill's Down type beat, and all sorts of stuff like that. And again, back to the original story, I really enjoy watching interviews now and watching award shows and watching our older icons, like I said, go on to win these big awards. Lil Wayne's winning Entertainment of the or not, or we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, it was what was Global Impact?
Yeah, Global Impact Award, which is insane, right? Because you never put or at least growing up, and with how they used to view rap,
especially Lil Wayne.
Especially Lil Wayne.
I feel like everybody's parents were like, no, don't listen to that, even though they were secretly listening to that.
Yep. Yep. And come on, look at all the face tattoos now, all the ways we dress, the skaters, and all sorts of other stuff. Lil Wayne really has made a global impact. You know, so it's one of those things. But going back to it, now when you're watching podcasts and you're watching interviews, everyone's podcasting, everyone's doing interviews, which is great because you get a lot of content. Like Stephen A. Smith, he'll go on a podcast, and
I love him on everything.
Dude, yeah, you'll have, you know, Lil Wayne, you'll have LeBron, you'll have all these artists, you know, and you get lasting moments forever because, you know, rest in peace. Right before he passed away, Takeoff was on Drink Champs, you know, and right before all that happened, you really got a glimpse on who Takeoff was as a person because he really doesn't do interviews. And that did immortalize him, you know, because he didn't go on the podcast and talk about anything Migos. He was just there to be like, man, I love this show. I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To have
That's
that type
real.
of energy, to be a bigger artist than the show you're going on, and to be like, yo, I love this. Thank you guys for having me here. And it always makes them a little bit more human, a little bit more relatable. And this is all just to say that, like, keep doing it, right? Like, I love hearing Brent Fayaz talking about, yo, I go to Seattle for inspiration. Like, that's lit. You know what I mean? Imagine
Tyler the Creator said that too.
If I'm being
although it wasn't on
completely
the
honest,
podcast.
I don't. Besides who they are, I feel like I think it's crazy. Brent comes here for romantic inspiration because I don't really see him as like the model of what most women in Seattle would be looking for. But again, he's a superstar, so I guess that adds a whole other layer to it. Not to say he's a bad looking guy, but let's be honest, we live in Seattle. There's too many white women around for him to have for him to feel that way. But knowing who he is and the reputation he has and our own experiences, I do agree with him that you can have a real special moment with somebody in Seattle while it's raining outside, you know? Yeah, you can definitely make it happen. And Tyler the Creator has also said that. Justin Bieber, I'm pretty sure, owns property up here. Like a lot more people come and hang out. But again, doesn't matter. You don't really get these personal moments in the music. You don't get these moments when they're on stage rocking out. But, you know, sitting down and listening to them talk and take shots and hang out for hours on end, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
So keep doing it. The culture appreciates it. I appreciate it, right? Like when I get on, bro, and I'm listening to DJ Drama talk about how he never thought he'd be in his position, or Lil Wayne's talking about how
Man.
the king or the royalty in Dubai
I'll
was so
never-
offended by his arrival in Dubai. They gave him a Lamborghini to just send him back with one, color of his choice,
Oh my God.
with a Rolex or whatever else they had given him, just because.
I won't forget the DJ Drama line. We're just out here in Geneva. That's Switzerland. In case you don't know. I got a woman feeding me French vanilla ice cream. We all got our toes out too, you feel me?
That's crazy.
I'll never forget that line.
and-
on Call Me If You Get Lost.
I definitely I lived for the music, if I'm being completely honest. A lot of time people are like, man, you travel and you do this and you do that. If I'm being completely honest, it's the music that gives me the inspiration. Like you hear these lines, right? And you wonder, what would it be like if I was in Geneva with my toes out?
Yeah, bro, that reminds me. I gotta look up flights for next year.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
I'm
it's
trying to go to Geneva.
it's one of those things. You know what I mean? Like they'll make the music about the Bibelos in France and the tower and Toronto, and you just gotta go. Like you gotta go and get the energy, get the vibes, and all sorts of stuff. That's what I like about the culture. You can experience these things as long as you put in the work and you really make a lifestyle out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, talking about more artists and creators, the next thing I wanted to bring up is really something that speaks to me a lot as a content creator, because we all have our ups and downs. Like it's such a unicorn moment when a creator has nothing but ups and they just blow up and find nothing but more success. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen every month, every year. Like it rarely happens. So as a creator, I would say we've been doing this for like 5+ years. And it's not until now that I can say that things feel like they're getting anywhere. You know what I mean? So I was reading this article from The Cut about Pierre Moss. It was about the designer, Jean Raymond, who found out he's French. Shout out, not French, Black. He's Haitian. Again, shout out Black people. Shout out Black History Month. So found out he's Haitian. And the article was pretty much telling, the tale and story of pretty much an influencer who got too big too quick and didn't know how to manage it, didn't know what the real steps to having a long-lasting presence was. And now, everyone's waiting to see what he does next because it's pretty much a non-existent thing right now. If you don't know, Pierre Moss is a clothing line that has been the designer himself has been around for a while, but Pierre Moss really took off during the pandemic and during the Black Lives Matter movement because it's a Black brand and it's unapologetic. What's the word?
Unapologetic. You said it.
Yeah, the tongue twister. I talk fast. It was just Black. It was just a Black brand, right? And that's what you saw the celebrities wearing. Tracy Ellie Ross and like Yara Shahidi and all of them. They were just wearing it a lot during that movement. They were pushing that it's a Black brand. And he did a lot of collaborations. He worked with Reebok. He did the Reebok shoes remind me of the Oswegos, which I've always been those Ralph Simmons are neat, right? So again, it's just one of those things that like he had everything going for him. Like Anna Wintour was co-signing him. billion-dollar brands were co-signing him. And then the article just talks about how literally not his fault, but because he gained so much exposure and had to grow so fast, the brand fell apart, right? Money issues, the relationship with the manufacturers were being affected by that, relationship with other designers and his own team and all sorts of other stuff. And reading it, it was such a beautiful story, right? Obviously, a lot of failures, but what we know as content creators, which I feel like I have a freaking cat hair in my face. I'm sorry. The thing about content creators is that there's for every win, you get 1,000 failures. For again, we try to record this episode 5 times over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for every win, there's always so many failures, right? Before we were able to put on this art show, we can't even get other podcasts and other people to come and talk to us and work with us and stuff. But now we're literally being, like people are like sneak us out so they can put us on their shows. Like we're headlining shows and doing other stuff. So it's all about those wins. I don't even know what's gonna come after we do this show, but I know I did do this, and I'm probably gonna fail 1,000 other times before one person does tell me yes. I love to think that we're gonna have nothing but luck with the podcast and everything, but that's just not the reality. So again, seeing this global brand not being able to meet deadlines, not being able to make their shows, not being able to produce like they were expected to, makes me feel good. Not because I was wishing him to fail, but because people are still waiting for him to do the next thing, because this is part of the process, right? Yeah. This is something he tried that didn't work. So now what are you going to do? And that's the best part about creating content. Now what are you going to do? You can give up if you want, but again, it's such a beautiful tale, because if this man, I actually don't know the pronouns, if this person comes out and does a killer show next time around, they're made.
Absolutely.
They're made.
Absolutely.
So,
and I mean, I think that here's the thing. Virgil Abloh, amazing. But it's hard to imagine that he didn't also make some trash, not like trash, but just like maybe not as colloquially understood pieces earlier on in his
Pyrex.
career. Yeah, Pyrex. As something as simple as that. Like you get with a brand that makes glass, and you're not even really like, you just want to make things that are functional.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was making clothes. He was making clothes that literally said Pyrex.
Well, yeah, that too. But that's what I'm saying. Like you're transforming things, but it had to exist first.
Yeah.
And so like, imagine if Virgil Abloh had made Pyrex and then just like didn't make anything for like 5 years.
He just stopped.
Because
obviously after that wave of big designs and graphics and clothes, that really could have been the end of Virgil Abloh.
Yeah.
He also worked with Kanye on Pastel. You know what I mean? Like there are some, and he was part of Donda. The work continues. And that's why, when people were on two sides for this article, half the argument was, wow, what a wasted opportunity. Like, sure,
the article reads very much like two people wrote it and they were countering each other the whole time.
That's what makes it so nice, because you do have to. That's how the article had to be written.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because on one end, it's like, what a wasted opportunity. Because yes, every creator would love to never miss, right?
But it phrases it in a way that's like, wow, like what a wasted opportunity. But if this is what a waste looks like, imagine what success looks like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, it's, for example, this audio equipment we keep playing with. To be completely honest with you guys, which I can admit now, for over a year, we're recording off one mic. Right? Plugged into a laptop.
Yeah, man.
Nobody could talk in the room.
That first video, and I was like, whoa.
Bro, yeah. No one can talk in the room. You can't even breathe too much because a microphone will pick it up and everything's ruined.
Our first video was recorded on my cell phone, and it took us an incredibly long time to get it uploaded because it was 22 gigs somehow. Yeah, we've come a long way.
It's a lot of work. And looking back at it now,
anywhere near what we want.
Yeah.
end.
But looking back at it now, if that was failure, which it really wasn't, because failure would have really been to just stop.
Yeah.
Right. If that would have been, yo, man, I can't do this. Like this whole one microphone, and da 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 da. Let's just not do this. And if we're being, transparent again, I don't even have the same co-host anymore.
Yeah.
Like a lot happens, right? But now we got video, we got lighting, we got the notes up on the screen. We're doing everything else. He's playing with his hair on camera. Like it's just a lot more going
I'm having
on.
a good time. This is my relaxation tactic, man.
We've come a long way. And honestly, I'm looking forward to what Pierre Moss does next. If he even moves forward with that brand, maybe he rebrands. You never know. So as long as it's not a missed opportunity and it's something he keeps working on, again, love to see the article. I don't think the cut was doing him dirty at all. I thought they had to point it out, because it's not like it was an industry secret. His employees were talking about it.
You know what this reminds me of? I might make us shirts or sweaters or something for the event this weekend that say, if you're just now hearing about the Winning Podcast, I'm sorry.
That would be clean.
Because he showed up to one of his like fashion meetings showing his pieces to an editor wearing a sweater that said, if you're just now hearing about Pierre Moss, I'm sorry.
We should do that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it after, because I don't want to drop the names of the places we're going to go get the clothes at to do it. But anyway.
No free clout.
Yeah. Come check us out this weekend. Come hang out at the art show. This could be your Pierre Moss moment.
Absolutely.
So.
But speaking of content creators, we have actually a lot more to talk about, but we may have to take another break.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
How's it going, everybody? This is your co-host and local artist, Caleb, otherwise known as Lick My Paint, and you are tuned in to the Winning Podcast. All right. Welcome back.
Oh, we're ready. Last thing. I need a second. I'm not going to lie. These things are getting longer and longer in a good way, because we're trying to make sure we get things right. So I think it's a nice thing that we started taking breaks. I wonder what the people who only listen to the audio think.
I hope you're not mad that we do ads.
And if you are, send us some feedback.
And they're not bad ads. They're our ads.
I think they're kind of funny. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
All right, so last things, we're just kind of doing like honorable mentions type thing. Shout out to Beyonce for being the most winningest Grammy artist. Also, shout out to
just black women.
Yeah, shout out to black women, in general. Again, I would clap, but audio.
All black people. All black.
Shout out to all black people. Happy Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
Here are a couple other black people that we've been taking notice of, especially in the last week or two. Lil Wayne, Global Impact Award, like we brought up earlier in this episode.
And again, even I was surprised. I was like, I didn't realize. But also, when you look up Lil Wayne's record, it's undeniable. I'm pretty sure, just worldwide, Lil Wayne is like top 20, maybe, if not higher, like lower tens of like the most records sold in the world. Like this man's sold over like 350 million something record, and that's like when I checked a couple years ago. You know what I mean? And he's just like Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa has a top 10 song every year.
Yeah,
I never hear it.
Yep,
I never hear it. But every
it always
year
comes out of nowhere. I was just telling you about this. I showed you a song just like right before we started recording. Wiz Khalifa has made yet another song that will probably trend simply because of how ridiculous the song is.
Yep. And a Fast and Furious movie is about to come out. You know that's his bag.
Yep.
He's
every
always
time.
on there every time. Lil Wayne the same. You know the new Spider-Man movie's coming out. You know Lil Wayne's always on that album. Mm-hmm. Like it's always he was in the new movie House Party.
Mm-hmm.
People don't give Lil Wayne enough credit.
That was something else that we've talked about before, is how people like rappers, musicians, artists, it's not even about just like being number one artist in the rap game anymore. It's about how many soundtracks I can be on now.
Yep.
Like that is the real win.
That's the real, because at that point you're making soundtracks, you're having scores.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
to
it's
have
different.
a score
it's different
is
type of money.
different than having an album.
Because even the picture, I'll show it to you later, where when they were all at the Grammys and what Lil Wayne was wearing, I was like, just look at him. He's always been just. I'm proud of Wayne. I've never met the guy. I've seen him in
never met
concert.
him.
I've never met him, but I've seen him in concert.
This is true.
And every time it's like he doesn't know how to dance, but he does his best. You know what I mean, bro? Wayne is just that
Hey,
guy,
neither does
and I
Kodak,
get it.
but that's
I
what
get
we
it.
live for.
I get it. And Jay-Z as well. Just shout out to the people who are leaders in the culture. And, you know, the music might not be for everyone, but it has changed everything.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I'll say that.
Absolutely, it has.
World Global Impact Award, I get it.
Yeah, but I'm
I
also
get it.
like, again, who is the Academy and who are these people that are
It
that
doesn't
are
even
making
matter.
these awards? Like,
It doesn't even matter.
does a United States Commission on Culture and Art and Music get to say whether a person has global impact?
Yes,
we know that
100%.
we know that Lil Wayne has global impact.
No, 100%. Because it's, I like I said, Lil Wayne has sold over 350 million copies worldwide before playlists and Spotify and not buying music.
I guess that's fair.
That's global impact.
That's fair.
And rappers in London are rapping about Lil Wayne and all sorts of other stuff, face tattoos. Come on, like it's undeniable.
Presidential pardon.
Yeah, yes. Come on.
My goodness.
Come on. How many rappers can say they got a presidential pardon besides Lil Wayne and Kodak?
Yeah, I was gonna say Kodak.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I didn't know those were so easy to get.
I don't know, man. It really just like we were talking about. The court of public opinion is a strong place.
No, those were easy to get. I thought
those were, but again, like if there had been a major mainstream rapper in jail besides Bobby Shmurda during Barack Obama's presidency, don't you think that at some point, just as a random gimmick, he probably also would have done that? He probably also would have done something like that.
Those were easy to get. I always thought a presidential pardon would be for like class 1. We don't even know he exists. War criminal. You know what I mean?
Well, they do that.
I mean, I get it, but don't get me wrong. I love Wayne. I love Kodak. But I was like, man, presidential pardons, not even out on good behavior. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not into politics. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I just always assumed something different. Did you think they'd be out on a presidential pardon, or did you think they'd be out on good behavior or some other stuff?
I feel like they would have just kept fighting it in court until they just ultimately didn't have to spend any time in there for it.
I guess that's fair.
That's like politics. always my assumption, to be real.
I don't know politics, so you're probably right. Anyway, shout out to Wayne. I don't even mean to bring up his public record or anything.
Yeah.
Wayne's done amazing for himself and the community and to other people. Wayne gave us Drake.
This is true.
Lil Wayne. That's literally his rap name.
Yeah.
That's not even his government name.
No. I'm saying, you're like, I'm not trying to talk about his public record, and we're like, just blurts out name.
Yeah, honestly. So yeah, he gave us Drake. He gave us Nicki. He gave us Tyga. Tyga had 2 runs at it.
He's still trying.
Let's be completely honest.
Recently, but he needs to stop.
Let's be completely honest. Tyga's not a bad artist. I'll never say that.
Absolutely not.
But he just keep missing the mark.
Yeah, he's got some bars, but like he's just still trying to do that like raunchy, like I'm gonna bend you over and break your back, like that kind of stuff. Like,
and we never give Tyga a break.
Yeah,
he's not the only rapper with a reconstructed hairline, but we cannot let him get away with it.
Absolutely not. Mainly because
that's crazy.
Mainly because he does it and then tries to appropriate like Hispanic culture with it.
I guess that's fair.
Like he like got his hair installed.
How do you know he's not?
I'm pretty sure he is, but I'm just saying,
he got
like
his hair installed. You hear how
crazy
that is?
He gets his hair installed, and then all he does is wear those super tight cornrows and braids. And I'm like, bro, it's gonna get pulled right back out. That's why your hair is receding. Stop.
Have we heard from Tory Lanez? Did you get that treatment in jail?
I don't know.
Is it a treatment? I think that's cosmetics. She probably can't get that.
Probably not. It has to be like life threatening.
I guess it's the last thing you're worried about in jail.
I completely forgot he was in jail for a second.
Is he in jail? I don't think he's in jail yet. We got to look into that. Let's check in on Tory Lanez. Not in a good way. Shout out Meg.
Yeah, shout out Meg.
But not okay. I mean, not in a bad way either. But we should make sure he's in good conditions because he's a small guy. You never know.
I don't know, man. Good conditions don't seem to be something they care about for rappers, especially because we saw what's his name was trying to get out. Melly has tried to get out tons and tons and tons
And now
of
we
times.
don't even talk about him. Honestly,
Yeah.
until you just brought him. Man, listen.
Oh,
For a while though,
man.
they had us fooled. They were cooking in jail. I'm not gonna sit here and say some of the meals didn't look good.
My gosh. Yeah, all
I
I
don't
know
know.
is that some dude made a TikTok about how to make Jolly Ranchers in jail, and I was like, honestly, bro, you can just use that to make Jolly Ranchers anywhere.
I'm not gonna say I'd eat it, but I'm not gonna say if I was in jail it would look too bad.
Yeah, well,
Good for
come
them.
on. Other impressions about the weekend. Do you think that Harry Styles makes good music? Period. First, and then do you think Harry Styles makes good enough music to beat Beyonce?
The first one, yes, I do think Harry Styles makes good music. From what I've heard, I don't.
Do you have a favorite Harry Styles song?
No, I was just about to say. I think it's called "What Do You Mean." But if I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure it's by Harry Styles. I just think it is. Do I know his music well enough? No, but I feel like if I hear his music, it won't be too bad. I feel like I'm sure I have heard his music. Do I think he makes good enough music to beat Beyonce? No. Only because,
have
the
a
thing
follow-up
is,
tattoo.
I not to say I'm talking for anybody, but I just feel like there's some communities Harry Styles just wouldn't reach. You know what I mean? While Beyonce, there's no community she wouldn't reach. Like, who's come on.
Yeah,
That's but that's public opinion. Obviously, but no, okay, we're not even trying to do that. I have no qualms against Harry Styles. Like I saw somebody on Twitter was talking about Harry Styles and Beyonce didn't deserve the award because they didn't make original music. Because their albums was nothing but samples.
But I'm also like, let's just be real here for a second. No, not very many vocal artists make their music.
I was just about to say, she also said, I don't think Harry writes his own songs.
Nobody does.
Again,
really.
it's like we talked about in the last episode. You were surprised some of these songs aren't their actual experiences. They're performers. That is what they are at the end of the day. And you can't be upset at Beyonce because she's not playing the trumpet and dancing and the violin and doing all that all at once. Like she's there to do one thing.
Trumpet.
I don't know.
That would kill me if she really was.
Imagine.
Just imagine for a moment. Yeah, sure, we have Alicia Keys playing the piano, but that's just the piano.
Yeah.
And the guitar maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, can you imagine Beyonce hitting the studio, just a bunch of orchestral instruments in a studio?
That wouldn't even make sense.
Nobody else, just the A&R man being like, heck yeah, these are tuned. Like,
and
no,
Beyonce's
that
always
doesn't make
been
any sense.
Beyonce's always been the golden child because obviously she walked into a room full of musicians and she did her thing and they were like, we all want to get behind you. That is what Beyonce is known for. She's known to be a performer. So to expect her to, be out here doing all that would be crazy because then she wouldn't even be Beyonce. She'd be, not Beyonce.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She'd be something else, Knowles.
Yeah. But I do think she should have won. I think, for as much as we contribute to the culture, we get robbed every year. But at the same time, we also do get, EGOTs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going with that. There's definitely always the silver lining. So Viola Davis has now become the 18th winner of the EGOT, which is when you get an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. And in doing my research, she actually has 2 Tonys.
That's crazy.
So multiple musicals.
What do you get a Tony for?
Musicals. Yeah, musicals and Broadway shows actually is what it is.
She has vocals?
Apparently.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So she has 2 Tonys for work on Broadway. She's got a Grammy, an Oscar, and an Emmy as well. And so like now
That's
some
impressive.
of the work that she's done, or like some of the like lines that she's written, people have been posting them on Twitter being like, these crazy like ultra black sentences are now like EGOT level like substance. Like you can't ever say that our experiences or the things that we write or the things that we as black people create are not worthy of praise and like ultimate recognition.
It's true. It's true though. But we've always felt like that, right? And it's crazy that we expect it from an institution that we know will never give it to us, even though they need it every year.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, we know the moments. We know we make history every time, and that's what that really matters. That's why I love the clip of Adele when Harry Styles won. She was kind of glancing over, and I was like, "See, this is why, at the end of the day, you get to play. You get to play."
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to say Harry Styles is not talented, but let's be honest. Anyway.
And speaking of people being the most winningest, doing the best things, and being black, LeBron James is now the most scoringest player in the NBA with, 38,388 points, I believe.
That's crazy.
Beating Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who held the record since basically the 90s. So, yeah. That's insanity
That is insane.
to me.
That's crazy.
And he did it in less seasons than Kareem. That's
why that man was sitting courtside looking upset.
Kareem played 22, 21 seasons in the NBA. LeBron is only in his 20th.
That's crazy.
And he said he's not leaving the NBA until he gets to play a year with his son. And imagine, obviously LeBron gets what he wants, right? Like LeBron will do what he wants. But imagine
he has a school.
Imagine his son comes to the league and they're not trying to put him on the same team. And he's like, I'm not about to leave the league until I get to play with him. And they just Brett Favre.
But LeBron's getting too old. He ain't gonna do all that.
He's only 37. I want to look up how old the oldest basketball player was.
We gotta talk about it.
But we'll
sure
reflect on that when we do our recap.
Let's do that. But honestly, it's been great.
Yeah. Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
Come to our art show.
Stay
we definitely
black.
better see you all there. Keep up. Stay black. Don't change. That's what my family used to say.
It's still a beautiful day outside. I'm going to go hang out.
Absolutely. I want to go catch the sunset.
Heck yeah.
All right.
And
Y'all
with that,
stay safe.
You already know.
It's been your hosts.
Yeah.